your day going, friend? Haha, hello, and welcome to Craft Your Future. We're thrilled you're here for our podcast series, where we dive into the why behind things, guided by first principles thinking, the art of breaking down ideas to their core truths. This approach opens up multidimensional perspectives on life's many questions, helping you live with purpose and clarity. So, join us for this episode of Craft Your Future as we explore a big question. What will you do when you don't have to do anything? My first thought? I'd go to sleep. Yup, a totally lame answer, right? I can already hear some of you shaking your heads in disappointment. The ideal response to this question might be, I'd read a book, learn a new language, or take on some side gigs. The difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary lies in how you use your free time. Those precious hours after work can shape you into a genius or leave you as a slacker, a dreamer, or even a gambler. It's not just about work efficiency. It's about the gap in success that free time creates in your life. More often than not, the hours after 6 p.m. determine whether you're living an average life or achieving greatness. That's when school's out, work's done, and you're the master of your own time. So, what do you do with those evening hours? Some people push themselves to the brink, refusing to rest, diving into overtime and stumbling out of the office at 1 or 2 in the morning. Others binge watch a series, sprawl on the bed scrolling TikTok, or hang out at cafes, chatting endlessly with friends. To outsiders, these might seem like the habits of the useless. Time is gold. Time is silver, they say. If you're under 30 with no house, no car, and your success lags behind your parents' aging, wasting your youthful energy on nothing productive might label you a lost cause. Time is often called wasted when it doesn't produce value. A year without earning money, a year without new achievements at work, a year of poor academic results, a year without owning something valuable. That's what people call useless. I used to think sleeping in was pointless. Spending all day at home watching movies was a waste. I'd even grumble about anglers sitting by a lake all day just to catch a few fish. Such a bizarre luxury of time for those idle folks. But later, I realized those who choose to sleep do so because they haven't had a full night's rest in ages. Those who watch movies might be escaping reality. And those anglers? They might be seeking a quiet moment in their minds after days of chaos and stress. In short, it's their way of rebalancing the energy they've lost. At first glance, they might seem aimless, but in truth, they're practicing Wu Wei, the art of doing nothing. In the philosophy of Lao Tzu, Wu Wei, where Wu means not and Wei means action, translates to non-action. Those who live by Wu Wei are calm, serene, and in tune with their soul's natural state, free from worry, hustle, or frenzy. Everything flows naturally, gently, like water in a stream. Picture this. You see a tiger hunting a deer. If you shoot the tiger to save the deer, you might doom the tiger's cubs waiting for their mother's meal. If you help the tiger catch the deer, you've wronged the deer. But letting things unfold naturally, that's the most righteous path. By doing nothing, you allow nature to grow, flourish, live, and fade on its own. The universe and Earth operate in natural cycles. If we interfere with one element, we disrupt the entire cycle. By doing nothing, we ensure the cycle runs smoothly. So, on days when you don't know what to do or how to solve a problem, Lao Tzu suggests the best choice is to do nothing at all. This philosophy sparked heated debates, with many arguing that Wu Wei encourages laziness or passivity. For them, you must act, do something, to be proactive and move toward success. Doing nothing? That's labeled as negative, unmotivated, or lacking ambition. In a culture obsessed with action, doing nothing feels foolish. Who becomes a millionaire by doing nothing? But in reality, Wu Wei isn't about giving up, surrendering, or being lazy. It doesn't promote apathy or lifeless indifference. Instead, it encourages letting go of expectations and savoring each moment as it comes. A key pillar of Wu Wei is learning to wait and observe. In other words, it's a form of energy conservation, a vital skill for everyone, much like the trough-proofing technique taught for swimming in the last century for both swimmers and non-swimmers alike. In this exercise, you relax your body in the pool, moving your limbs freely as long as your head and chest stay above water. The key? To float and breathe. You must first let yourself sink to the bottom. At first, I was skeptical of Wu Wei. Patience is a virtue, sure, but it's never been my strength, especially in a society brimming with talented people, bustling with relentless energy and endless pressures. How could I possibly sit calmly by a lake fishing? I knew I was just average, decent looks, modest talent, and ordinary finances. Countless times, I'd look up at the brilliant people around me, then down at myself, sighing endlessly. That's why I put so much pressure on myself, setting goals and striving for achievements. I was fired up, urging myself to seize my youthful energy and work hard. But in recent years, I've realized that my restless, anxious attitude when idle was a form of toxic productivity, a mindset of relentless work, even during downtime, until I was utterly drained, physically and mentally. Sitting at my desk, I'd feel nothing but emptiness and a body with no strength left. That's when the facade of achieving success crumbled, giving way to questions about what I was truly chasing. I saw clearly. I wasn't happy. I wasn't at peace. I couldn't smile. That's when I knew I needed to stop and do nothing. Some argue Wu Wei is only for the wealthy, the privileged born at the finish line. If you're starving with nothing to eat, you've got to work, right? But let's clarify. Wu Wei isn't about abandoning work. It's a pause to restore energy, a rest to keep moving forward. Remember, our focus and energy are finite. When we pour energy into one thing, we lose it for another. In today's information-overloaded world, it's hard to choose and stay focused, easy to lose clarity and reason. Those who master waiting and observing handle any situation with ease. We define productivity as working, creating something new, but we often overlook that nurturing and self-care are just as productive. Rest may not seem productive at first. We might even feel it's not productive, but when woven into daily life, it brings a brighter perspective, boosts efficiency, and makes life better. By nature, humans are lively, curious, drawn to things that spark joy or distract us. But most of us lack the persistence to see things through, so the more we do, the more chaotic it gets. Chaotic action does more harm than doing nothing. That's why, before major life moments, I choose to sit still, embrace the moment, and focus to prepare for challenges. Some share that they'd love to practice Wu Wei to clear their minds, but when they see loved ones dawdling, they get furious, urging them back to reality. This isn't uncommon in families. Picture a wife juggling everything: cooking, cleaning, managing the household, waking early to prepare meals while the kids sleep until the last minute, moving leisurely, minds in the clouds. She might explode, scolding them, starting the day with negativity that, over time, drains her spirit. How do you handle this? I haven't been in that exact situation, so I can't fully grasp the emotions involved. Observing from the outside is always easier. So, try stepping back and practice deep looking. What's deep looking? It's not just seeing, it's understanding, tracing things back to their roots, their essence, to uncover the cause and resolve it together. For example, through deep looking, you might see a child's slowness stems from a disrupted rhythm. Parents often judge kids by their own standards, but kids naturally can't match adult capabilities. Pushing them disrupts their pace, slowing them further. Instead of demanding instant action, give them buffer time to prepare and develop an intuitive sense of time. Agree on daily tasks in advance, and gradually, they'll adapt. Through deep looking, a husband and child don't just see the meal on the table. They see the mother's effort. Waking early, shopping at the market, carefully picking vegetables, prepping, cooking, frying, sweating over a hot stove, tasting and adjusting. That steaming meal is a sky full of love, a mother's heart poured into it. They'll grow to cherish the cook, seeing the meal not just as food but as a precious gift, worthy of gratitude, kind words, and heartfelt encouragement. When we look deeply, we see everyone is fighting their own battles. We feel compassion, empathy, and let go of what can be let go. To me, that's part of Wu Wei, pausing to see, not forcing, flowing with what's happening instead of fighting it. Wu Wei guides our boat along the current, not against it. Trying to mold the world to our desires wastes energy and often leads to disappointment. While ambition and action are undeniable drivers in life, we must accept that plans often don't go smoothly. Choosing not to overthink prevents us from getting stuck, reducing anxiety, impatience, and unease. But let's be clear, a good life can't be built on Wu Wei alone. Nor should we misuse Wu Wei as an excuse for laziness. Sure, everyone's timeline is different, and comparing ourselves to others is pointless. But if they're rich at 30, good for them. Does that mean we suffer now and only enjoy life at 70 or 80? Does that sound right? Think of Wu Wei as a necessary pause. Work in Wu Wei, rest in Wu Wei, think in Wu Wei, speak in Wu Wei. It's not about doing nothing. At its core, Wu Wei shows that when we stop struggling, wait for the right moment, and observe, we see patterns more clearly and make wiser choices. Don't let emotions overly sway your decisions. Save your energy. Avoid wasting it on futile things. Wait for the right moment to shine, and you'll surely succeed. The sky isn't always stormy, and birds don't always spread their wings to fly. Stillness helps us act only when necessary. And so, I'll sit here again, breathing steadily, eyes wandering, soaking in the world, watching the sunlight dance gently on my shoulder, knowing, if this resonates with you, share it to inspire others. Don't forget to like, follow, and turn on notifications for new content. Thank you.